Quick live now. Hello, hello. Don't expect a whole lot of people to jump on or anything like that. Not expecting anyone to really be here. I'm just jumping on to do a quick live and have a very quick conversation about some things that I felt the urgency to come on and share this morning. So whoever's on here is on here. Who isn't, that's okay. They can catch it on the replay or watch it whenever they get an opportunity to do so. But but there's a couple things that I wanted to share. I felt impressed to come on and share real quickly with those of you who are awake and who follow me. And I'm checking to make sure that, I was trying to send out a quick notification for those who normally follow me. I want to make sure I actually sent it. Yeah, okay, there it is. I did. All right. So wanted to make sure that I actually sent it out. So for those who normally follow, but again, I'm not going to be on here long. Just some quick things that I wanted to say to you. I felt the urgency of the Spirit of God to say it's October. It's October. Well, let me see. October the 6th. Yeah. So it's the beginning of October, and there's some of you who are familiar with me, so you know that October is the beginning of some things, but it's a little more intensified right now. Actually, the months of October all the way into the middle part of January is where those who are prophetic people, clairvoyant people, prescient people, psychic, telepathic people, and again, just semantics, all of them are the parts of the same whole. So don't let religious people trip you up with that piece right there. Oh, no, you can't be psychic and prophetic. It's the same thing, okay? You're tapping into your inner knowing, that intuitive nature that you have, and allowing you to be able to sense, feel, and see things as they are unfolding. It is looking into the future and seeing it forming. And so the months of October through January are the time when those of us who are more gifted in those areas, in the prophetic or psychic or clairvoyant, which is a little different, telepathic, empathic, that it is more intensified. And I've had people ask me why that is, and I don't have a good answer for it. I really don't know. I don't know why it's these months where that is so intensified, but it is. October through the middle part of January, around about January the 15th or 16th. And so if you are though in that one of those categories, then you find that your sleep pattern is really off. Mine is crazy right now, absolutely crazy. I mean, seriously, just crazy. I think I may have on the last 6 days slept maybe a total of about 2 or 3 hours, maybe four, in the last 6 days. Just off, because there's such a bombardment of visitations, visions, and transportations, if you will. Not and Again, I use that term in air quotes because we're not really. It's really an anthropomorphism. We're not really transporting as much as we're becoming consciously aware of ourselves in places that we are, because we are in every place at the same time. And so, but yeah, just so intense, and it's been crazy. And those of you who have that kind of gifting, at whatever level you might be at, I'm sure that during this time you are experiencing those kind of crazy sleep patterns and visitations and being not being able to sleep, being restless and experiencing all so many visions and experiences, spiritual experiences. But this is not the normal. Um, this is not the normal pattern. What I distinctly heard clearly is that all of humanity, this is global, worldwide, all of humanity, and I'm speaking in terms of human population, not other life forces that exist in other dimensions and in other worlds, but humanity. All of humanity is experiencing a great, and you've heard this term before, a great awakening, an expansion of consciousness, where uh, people's conscious awareness, watch this, is being expanded, where they become more, where they are confronted with truths that before they may have either been circumstantially blind to, willfully blind to, yeah, experientially blinded to. But because of this time period and this dramatic shifting, we've been in this paradigmic shift um, that is continuing to ripple and unfold. And we are in a stage or place during these next months, especially this month, October, where a real conscious awakening. Now that requires um, um, a willingness to detach and let go of what has been and is for what is being. Let me say that again. That requires a willingness to let go of what has been and is for, in exchange for what is being and becoming. What is being and becoming. And there are, this conscious awakening and expansion is taking place um, across the board throughout all of the human experience. And some will experience it openly, willingly, peacefully, flowingly, while others will experience it tumultuously, challenging, um, even painfully. And what I mean by that is it all comes down to your willingness to detach and divorce what has been and is for what is being and becoming. When you are unwilling or resistant to detaching what has run its course, that no longer serves you, that has completed its purpose in your life, then this kind of expansion can be tumultuous, challenging, and painful, because it's almost like a forced encounter with truth. And what I mean by force, please don't misinterpret that, because no one and nothing can or will force you to change. But you can have a forced encounter that makes you consciously aware of a level of truth, knowing that you had been resistant to and may continue to be resistant to, but you can't erase what you've experienced and known. You can't erase what's been revealed. And you may not want to embrace it, but you can't erase it. And that's what creates the challenge with taking that next step, moving to that next place, having that next experience, because of the unwillingness to let go of the familiar, the comfortable, what has been and is currently, to embrace what is being and becoming, and grasping that piece. So I wanted to, I felt an urgency to come on and to encourage you to really just open yourself to the free flowing, fluid change and awareness and expansion that you'll encounter, especially in this month, but bridging over into the middle part of January. Um, to not, no matter how significant, powerful, or um, even effective and impactful a particular idea, truth, or belief has been for you, don't become inextricably married to it, because that truth was, its purpose is to prepare you for the next truth. Man, what I just said right there was worth $1 million. I don't know if you really understood it. That truth, every truth, is, its purpose is to prepare you for the next truth, for the next conscious awakening or awareness. It's like an awakening. It works kind of like, life. Whoops, whoa, hey, and all of a sudden just like all of a sudden, in life you hit that curve, and then boom, there's an explosion of experiences and encounters that cause you to completely change your perspective, perception, and understanding of a thing. It's kind of like, for those of you who were raised in the Christian faith, that you can read a particular text in the Bible 100 times, and each time you read it, you see something different. And as you progress and grow and evolve, your understanding of the text and how it relates to you is different. Okay? Same words, but a different perspective on it. Okay? And so that's what an awakening is. It's like life is moving along at a nice little steady clip, steady pace, and then all of a sudden you hit a curve that causes your eyes, your third eye, to open even wider, and you become more consciously aware and have a drastic, dramatic shift in your perception, your perspective, your outlook, your understanding, because that intuitive knowing that has been latent just beneath the surface of the soul breaks through and pierces every corner, crack, and crevice of your conscious awareness, shining, shining light and a luminosity, illumination, revelation into your conscious awareness that demands a change. And like I said, some will flow freely with it because you are not, tied to, married to what has been. But others will find it painful, challenging, tumultuous, because they have created these roots, ties with the familiar, and there's an unwillingness to let go. But it does not stop the light from shining into your conscious awareness. It does not stop that level of insight, revelation, and knowledge from happening. It does not stop. My kids are extremely gifted um, in the area of clairvoyancy and the prophetic or psychic ability, and they want nothing to do with it. Well, I won't say nothing to do with it, but they're kind of resistant to it. It's like, no, I just want to be able to live a normal life like everybody else. I don't want to be like da 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 da. And I always say to them that, well, that's cool. You don't have to embrace it, but it's not going away. You don't have to embrace it. You don't have to accept it. You don't have to, give your attention to it, but it's not going away. And so you're still going to have these spiritual encounters. You're going to have these manifestations. You're going to have these personalities showing up in your space, these dreams, these visions, even though you don't necessarily want to. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm saying. Also, that during this period, um, and please understand that what I'm saying is an extraordinary, unusual event, because we talked about portals, windows, doors, and gates, and they are always present. But what is extraordinary about them at this moment is that they are all standing open from now until the middle part of January. There's really no real hard effort that has to be applied to these portals, doors, gates, or windows. You just simply have to give your attention to them because they are all sitting open. Portals, the windows, doors, and gates. And if you want to know the difference between each of those four, then go back and listen to some of the older videos. They're still on my page. And you'll see them labeled as portals, doors, windows, gates, where I explain each of them in great detail. That's not what I'm doing this morning. I'm just telling you what I felt the urgency to say. These portals, doors, windows, and gates are sitting open. So that it's not like automatic or manual or time delayed. They are sitting open, and all you have to do is turn your attention toward them to access them and what's on the other side of them, and to be dramatically transformed during this period of time. So they're sitting open. So remember, and I think I said this before, for those of you who are, consciously gifted in these particular areas, the prophetic, the empathic, the clairvoyant, or the psychic, or telepathic, that telepathy is the extension of consciousness into space, while intuition is the extension of consciousness into time. I'm going to say that again. Telepathy is the extension of consciousness into space, while intuition is the extension of consciousness into time. So, and those of you who've been listening, you understand what I mean by that, what that term, that statement means. Again, if you are unfamiliar, go back and it's still posted. I think it's marked. It was a lesson I did on your inner senses. So go back and look for that, and then I talk in detail about what that statement means. But I'm speaking mainly to those of you who have been listening and know. So just remember that telepathy is the extension of consciousness into space, while intuition is the extension of consciousness into time. Last thing, I'm out of here. I didn't even mean to be on this long. I had said, 10, 15 minutes and I would be done. I don't mean to ramble, but I'm trying to be clear. Those of you who know me know that I like to be very detailed and be very specific and clear so that people can understand. I'll try and put things on a level where that even a child would be able to understand what I'm saying. Last thing is, and that actually ties into the last thing, is that you need to, those of you who may not have this in your life, you certainly need to have, um, you need to be connected or in relationship with someone that is able to positively, spiritually impact your life, and are able to do it from a position of growth. Um, there is absolutely nothing wrong. It's kind of like the whole soulmate twin flame thing. There are soulmates there are people who are designed to come into your life at a specific time, and they are for the different levels that you find yourself at in your growth and matriculation through this iteration of life. But then there are twin flames, and those twin flames are specifically people who are designed to grow you. They are usually in a more mature state spiritually, consciously than you are, and are able to push you and aid you in being the best version of yourself. So, and I want to say to you that it's important that you, if you don't have that kind of connection, that you establish that kind of connection, whether it's, your, you can call them a pastor or your guru or your life coach or your mentor or your, whatever terminology you want to use, but you need to be tied to or accountability partner or covering. But every person, you need that person in your life that is able to offer you that kind of service. They truly see you. They recognize your gifting, your potential at a level that is beyond where you are, because they see something in you that you don't even see in yourself at this particular point, or that you are refusing to see in yourself. And they are at a level of experience and maturity where they can shepherd you through, teach you, guide you through the journey, not determine your path. That's control and manipulation, but guide you as you walk your path toward, through the evolutionary process, toward a higher version of yourself. You need to make sure you have that present in your life if you don't already. And if you do, then you need to cherish, value that relationship. Don't let anything or anyone sever that relationship, and understand that the onus is on you. Let me say that again. The onus is not on the teacher. The onus is on you. So this is not one of those co-equal relationships in the sense of, well, they're not calling me, chasing me, looking for me, or checking for me, or this, that, and the other. You are checking for them because of what they have to offer you. It's not giving them power or giving them whatever. It's respecting and understanding the value that they bring to your life, because Most often, people in that position, who are in that position, um, are very open to sharing their knowledge, wisdom, insight, instruction, guidance, um, very open to doing so, but they are not going to force that. Okay, they're not going to force it, they're not going to push it upon you. You have to demonstrate a genuine hunger, desire, a genuine insatiableness for what they have to offer you. Okay. Um, Back when I was pastoring the church, I used to tell the ministers that I was training, that man, I'm your tool, I'm your resource. Use me. I'm not going to chase you. I'm not going to be trying to call you all the time and text you and this, that, and the other. You have to demonstrate to me that you want what I have. And don't worry about, well, I don't want to bother you and I don't want to, I want to, crowd your time and I don't want you to feel like I'm getting on your, I'm like, don't worry about that. That's what I'm here for. Call me as much as you want, text me as much as you want, inbox me as much as you want, bother me because I would share with them my experience with my spiritual, what I called my spiritual father, my mentor, my teacher, my coach, that I would, man, he would have to send me home because I would be at his house all the time, spending the night sleeping on the floor. I would do things around his house, do chores just so I could spend time around him and listen to him talk. Just to listen to what the wisdom, the knowledge, the insight, the revelation that would fall from his lips. I would just because I wanted to be in the general vicinity to lap up everything that I could from him. Okay. So I said that to say that, that kind of relationship, you can expect that the teacher, the mentor, the guru, the life coach, the whatever you want to call them, is going to chase you and try and force feed you. You have to demonstrate a level of desire. So it's important for you, especially during this transitional moment where there's this kind of awakening is taking place. Many of you will have experiences that are so unfamiliar and so different, strange, if you will, to you that it necessitates having someone who can help guide you through and explain some of the things that are happening. Not to be a crutch, but to be a guide. Not to be a crutch, but to offer guidance. Okay? And then you have to decide whether you're going to put into practice what they're giving you and what they're sharing with you, the guidance that's being offered or not. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, you are responsible for your growth, for your path, for your development, So, yeah, I think that's all that I wanted to say. I'm gonna run over here to the comments real quick. I wasn't paying attention, so see if there are any questions. And if you have a question, real quick question, because I'm not gonna be home much longer, then you can go ahead and put it in the comments real quick. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hi, hello, Robert. Tagging in your mouth. Your star. This morning I heard a knock at the door that woke me up out of my sleeping pattern. Yeah. Cooper, that, but you know that you're one of those people, and so of course, yeah, your sleeping pattern is just all discombobulated at this particular point in time, and that will go on until the middle part of January. I was talking to to Dee Dee. Some of you know Dee Dee, others don't. But earlier, and just saying, my sleep pattern has just been completely out of whack and just crazy. And it's like, and she was like, yeah, it's that time of year. And it is. And so it's like, and again, I don't have any good explanation for why it always seems to fall at this particular time of year, but it does. It does. So, let's see anything else. Nature of being. Yeah, okay, that's right. Toya put this up for those of you who might want to know more about spiritual portals, doors, windows, and gates. It was the title of that particular teaching, and there are actually several of them, but I think that's the first one in the nature of being, part 6, spiritual portals, doors, windows, and gates. That's the first one, and I think there are like 4 or 5 that follow that one that cover each of those in some detail. Thank you, Toya. Thank you for finding that and posting that. That's good. But like I said, it's on my page. You can go there and you can begin to listen to them. Um, they're not that long, maybe an hour, hour and a half long, each one of them. Not that long. Okay. Let's see, any other questions? Absolutely, Kamoria. I'd be honored to be your mentor, your teacher. Absolutely. Shoot me an inbox and we'll exchange information and go from there. I'm absolutely honored to do so. Absolutely honored to do so. Let's see, anything else? Mel, can we have more of this in the morning? I, I hesitate to say yes. To be honest with you guys, I had began to feel like maybe I was oversaturating and coming on so much and so often that you guys were getting tired and was like, becoming complacent with it. And so you noticed that I've kind of pulled back and not been on as much because I don't want to oversaturate you. Um, I don't know. Let me meditate and pray on that, um, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe. Okay. Uh, okay. Okay. So I don't see any other questions in the comment sections or anything else like that. So recapping real quickly, October to January. We're in the midst of a great awakening. We've just hit this curve, okay, and thank you, Bree. That is so sweet. Bree writes, she's like, no, I don't even watch regular TV anymore. I watch Apostle TV. Bless your heart. That is so sweet of you. Thank you. Um, and oh, there's Dee Dee. I just mentioned you. I just mentioned you. Okay, but yeah. What was I going? Oh, I was recapping. We've hit this curve, and so there is a great awakening, a conscious awareness and expansion that is global across humanity at varying levels and degrees, depending upon where you are now. But you can expect to have these encounters and experiences that will drastically shift your perspective, drastically shift your perception, drastically shift your understanding, and whether it is free flowing or challenging or painful is totally dependent upon your willingness to let go of what is and has been and to embrace what is being and becoming. Okay. And that, um, um, oh, you were. She said, I was watching a training video and saw you were on. Oh, thank you. Okay. So yeah, and it depends on your willingness to embrace what is being and becoming, in exchange for letting go of what has been. And remember that, because it no longer serves you doesn't make it negative or bad. You don't look back on it as though, because if it were not for that, you would not be where you are now. Okay. And the thing that I'm actually going to focus and deal with on Sunday when I come on is about, and when we'll continue to talk about dark energy, we're going to talk about your shadow self, your dark self, and how that energy, that dark energy, its purpose is to expand. It pushes outward and upward to expand you. And many people run from their shadow self, their dark self, or have been taught erroneously that's your carnal self. It's demonic, it's satanic, it's witchcraft, or it's your lower self or whatever, because we have this lie that's been perpetrated on us, especially those of us of African descent, that anything black is evil or wicked. But your shadow self, your darker self, is the most powerful part of your being, because it is what accelerates your expansion and growth and development. And I'm not going to get into it right now. I'll save that for Sunday, when we have that whole conversation around dark energy. That's not a bad idea. Can we create a group where we can share information? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. Let me mull around with that and kind of figure out the best way to put that together. And I'm open to hearing your ideas about it as well. You can help me out with that, because I have very basic, minimal knowledge about Facebook groups and how you formulate and manage them. So I'm open to any insights you might have. But that's not a bad idea at all. That's not a bad idea at all. I think that would be good. That'd be fun. And to share those kinds of things. So yeah, well, good. Thank you, thank you. Um, so yeah, um, as I was saying, just be consciously aware of those encounters. Don't get scared because you're having these spiritual encounters with beings and life forces that appear, maybe in the form of a family member that has transitioned, that's more on the clairvoyant side, or appear in some other form that may seem unfamiliar or strange, because these portals, windows, and doors are all just sitting, or especially, that portals, that there are all kinds of life forces that make themselves known as they come through those portals and enter our three-dimensional world. Um, so don't get nervous or shaky or scared about that, because everything in the universe is for you. Nothing is against you. There are no demons, devils, wicked spirits, and evil or anything else like that. Nothing in this universe is designed to hurt you. Let me say that again. Nothing in this universe is designed to hurt you. Nothing that exists in any dimension, in any time or space across the multiverse, is designed to hurt you. Heck, you helped design it. So it's not designed to hurt you. Please let go of that mythology. Let go of that erroneous lie perpetrated by religious dogma from every corner, from Islam to Christianity to even to atheism and agnosticism and Wicca and witchery and sorcery. All of them have perpetrated that lie that there are, good spirits and bad spirits. There are spirit, white magic and black magic and good and evil. Everything that exists in the universe is designed to serve you. It is for you. There is nothing designed to harm you. Nothing. Because all things are created and co-created by the source and you. And all things are one, inextricably tied to each other. Okay? So don't get, nervous and scared about that. And you don't have to be silent about it either. Okay, I know some of you are running some religious circles where if you start talking about seeing dead people, what they say is, I see dead people. Then they'll label you as, demonic, or, you're a witch and all that other kind of craziness. Ignore the stupidness, okay? Those life forces may indeed, those souls may indeed appear in forms that you are most familiar with, and it may indeed be the souls of those that you have known in this iteration of life, or you have known in another iteration of life, or you've known throughout eternity. Don't be afraid of that. Open yourself to it. Portals are open, windows are open, doors are open, the gates are open, which is the catalyst for the great awakening. Okay? Wow, I've been on here way long. I said 10, 15 minutes. It's been almost 45 minutes. Good Lord. Okay. I hope you understand. Hope this blesses you. You can tag and share this video with as many people as you want, or send it in Messenger, however you want to do it, that's fine. And have a fantastic day. I love all of you. I am living in that love, the personification of that love. And I pray that you are also. Have a fantastic day.